This is the Harland and Wolff shipyard. It's a British shipbuilding and fabrication company headquartered in London, with this site being located in Belfast, Ireland. It specializes in ship repair, shipbuilding, and offshore construction. However, they are well known for the majority of the ocean liners for the White Star Line. This includes the Olympic class trio, to which includes the RMS Olympic, Titanic, and the HMHS Britannic. As for we all know, the Olympic has been scrapped. The RMS Titanic collided with an iceberg on her maiden voyage, and the HMHS Britannic, which struck a mine in the Aegean Sea off the island of Kea on November 21st, 1916. Located in Northern Ireland is a tourist attraction called Titanic Belfast, an attraction that opened in 2012, a monument to Belfast's maritime heritage on the site of the former Harland and Wolff shipyard in the Titanic's quarter where the RMS Titanic was built. However, it tells the story of the Titanic, which hit an iceberg and sank during her maiden voyage in 1912, and her sister ships, the RMS Olympic and the HMHS Britannic. However, this building does contain more than 12,000 square meters of floor space, which is occupied by a series of galleries, private function rooms, and community facilities. In May of 1911, the Titanic was launched. In this photo, you could see the outline of the lifeboats and also the officers' quarters of what the boat deck actually did look like. If you do notice, on Slipway 2, you can actually see patches of green grass. That is the memorial garden for the Titanic victims. But however, there is nothing there that honors the 30 that died on the HMHS Britannic whatsoever. On November 21st of 1916, the HMHS Britannic was sailing through the island of Kea in the Aegean Sea. Basically, the ship's mission and purpose was to pick up wounded soldiers and take them back home. But however, she would never make it to her destination when at 8:12 a.m. a mine went off near the bow of the ship, and the ship begins to take on water. However, in 55 minutes, the ship would go under, taking the lives of 30. Now, however, it was not due to drowning whatsoever, since the Mediterranean was only 68 degrees Fahrenheit at the time, which is normal. But the one thing you cannot take away from this event is that it's still a tragic event either way. Any loss of life is still considered a tragic event. However, the HMHS Britannic is actually considered a war grave and is actually protected by the Greek government, meaning that any form of unauthorized diving to this ship would result in a hefty fine and also prison sentence as well. You had to be trained in order to dive down to the wreck itself. Now, considering that it is 400 feet down below, it's still putting the human body at its limits. Now, to not take this out of context, though, this is actually still considered a tragedy anyway. Since 30 people did die, it is still considered a great loss. Compared to Titanic's 1500, which is actually considered a great loss, which is actually one of the first worst maritime disasters in 75-year history at the time. But however, the Britannic proved to be a safer ship, but however, even though its intended was used for war, but however, the ship was actually lost due to a German in a war that the Britannic never wanted to be a part of. But however, ever since she was lost, Titanic still gained attention, whether the Britannic became the largest ship lost in the First World War. However, in this photo right here, you can actually see the green patches real well. That is slipway number 2. That was where the Olympic and the Britannic would be launched from. Now keep this in mind, Titanic came from slipway number 3, and the Olympic and Britannic came from slipway number 2, with the Olympic being the first of her class. She didn't get any recognition compared to the RMS Titanic, which is her sister ship. Here is the petition on change.org. I will leave a link down in the description below if you do feel like to pause this and read this, feel free to do so. And here's also the comments as well. If you're one of those featured on here, I thank you guys for commenting on this petition whatsoever. In actuality, the victims of the HMHS Britannic and the ship itself deserve some recognition from Titanic Belfast, with a special plaque dedicating the 30 that lost their lives to the sinking of the HMHS Britannic, and also to memorize the RMS Olympic that once slipped out of slipway number 2. In my honest opinion, I believe the HMHS Britannic does deserve the same recognition as the RMS Titanic. Even though the Titanic has a great loss of life, the Britannic was actually a big hit in the medical field, as the ship was on a mission for mercy, trying to bring back home soldiers from the war and try to bring them back home before Christmas to see their families once again. But unfortunately, none of those 30 made it home in time for Christmas. May they rest in peace. Hey everybody, Dustin here, the man behind the mic himself. First of all, I just want to give 2 shout outs, one to Sez and one to Jake, for allowing me to use their photos that you saw in the video. And also, do check out the petition, which is actually linked down in the description below. And sign it, and hopefully that'll get us somewhere. So, also like this video as well, and also check out History Inside a Nutshell. I hang out there in the Discord server, so feel free to join in on the fun. I will also link that down in the description below as well. So, once again, I thank y'all and see you in another video soon.